Bethesda's most recent achievement, a sci-fi RPG that's essentially Skyrim in space. Todd Howard takes space exploration to new heights. The universe is massive, with hundreds of explorable planets to fly to and a dynamic narrative shaped by your own choices.
My name's John Marston.
This remaster of Rockstar's first open-world Wild West finds a new home in modern consoles. It's one thing to enjoy horseback riding in the refreshed American frontier, but if you get it on Switch and PS4, you can even get zombies with the Undead Nightmare expansion.
How would you feel about helping me kill some evil bastards?
Larian Studios' contender for this year's Game of the Year. It's not an open world in the purest sense, but if you're looking for freedom of exploration and immersive role-playing, Baldur's Gate has it in spades. If you didn't already spend hours in character creation, then you will with its packed storylines full of living, breathing characters. Whatever you make of it is a story of its own.
The gauntlet calls the sand. Feel it around you.
Inspired by the old-school action of God of War and Devil May Cry, Atlas Fallen takes us to a sand-swept open world, teeming with fearsome monsters. Despite its satisfying combat, it doesn't add anything new. If you love its gorgeous open world, or if you see it on sale, then you might find this a decent pickup. You might get whiplash from seeing this alongside other games in this list. Sludge Life is a hilarious first-person adventure that whisks you into a dank yet delightful world. This sequel means new places to tag and new cigarette-obsessed characters to have weird conversations with. Like its first game, it's just fun and trippy all around. If Starfield didn't scratch your sci-fi itch, maybe Everspace 2 can. Jump from galaxy to galaxy and loot as much as you can from challenging dungeons. A spaceship shooter at its core, take your metallic beasts and ride into battle against other plundering space pirates. With some RPG in the mix, you'll have to make interesting choices too. Another Game of the Year contender. You know it's gonna be a tight competition when a new Zelda game comes out. Tears of the Kingdom expands on Breath of the Wild's open world scope. It's still Hyrule, but with the Sky Islands and the depths adding new layers of adventure. Plus, Link's new abilities makes exploring even better. A whole generation went wild for this open-world Harry Potter RPG. Hogwarts Legacy allowed us to explore Hogwarts to our heart's content, casting spells, attending classes, and soaring the skies. If you're a Harry Potter fan, this is a magical experience you won't get enough of.
Come on, big boy.
Dead Island 2 deserves credit for being life back to zombie shooting. Messing around with the undead is better than ever with the game's realistic physics that even extends to the zombie gore. Set in post-apocalyptic Hollywood, it's like being in your own zombie land where you can do whatever you want. Dredge. A relaxing fishing game by day, a Lovecraftian horror at night. Dredge offers hours of addictive fishing. The huge open waters can be tempting to wander in, but the nightmarish creatures in hiding can make you think twice. You'll have to manage your ship, all while exploring the islands and staying sane.
Let's do this.
It may not be this year's best game, but Forspoken's fantasy open world sure is interesting. Talk about being isekai'd into a new world with nothing but a talking cufflink. Sure, that cufflink can talk your ear off while you zip and dash across the map, but the combat and exploration can make it worth it. After more than 5 years since its release, this Digimon game finally made its way to modern consoles. This open-world adventure challenges you to collect as many Digimon as you can. It's a long adventure with over 200 Digimon to collect, feed, and battle with. Join forces and strengthen your bonds to rebuild its digital world in chaos. Cal Kestis is a force to be reckoned with in this comeback. Armed with new weapons and powers, Survivor ups the ante of Cal's relentless Jedi journey. explore never-before-seen planets in a semi-open world format. You're not just exploring. You're solving puzzles and retracing your steps like a 3D Metroidvania. It's a complete step up from Fallen Order, with more heart-pounding action and interesting narrative beats.
Choose wisely.
You should see me in the corner.
Even with all the questionable patches and balance issues, Blizzard's ARPG continues to break new ground in their latest Diablo title. 4's ambitious open world enhances the dungeon crawling experience, with a greater emphasis on exploration. Test all of your builds with each biome from its 5 major acts. Fly your own airship and explore floating islands in this epic steampunk adventure. Take to the skies and discover the treasures and secrets that this expansive open world offers. Past its main storyline, you can do pretty much whatever you want, like raiding enemy encampments or defeating hordes of powerful enemies. After all, you are the captain of the ship,